right, readers, let's get this show on the road and talk about the books I'm thinking about reading and the books I am going to read in the month of April 2026. So let's get started. Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper. April is a super exciting month for me because I feel like spring really kicks into full gear in April, hopefully anyway. The days are longer, the nights are shorter, but I really enjoy that extra time to be able to read in regular natural light. And I also enjoy some of the things that I could read that are somewhat connected to this season as well. I've got lots of series to talk about today, a couple of library books, the ones that I know I'm going to read, and some that I may not get to, but I want to at some point soon get them. So let's give it a shot. So let's start with a book that I'm going to read for my friends Kat and Alex for their book club book in, I think, the end of April. This is The Measure by Nikki Erlick. I think I talked about this in another video. I have my BookTube Besties bookmark in it because it kind of matches this color. The Measure is one that I've had on my list for a while. If you don't know, this one is about a box that shows up at everyone's home as long as they're over the age of 18, I think. And there's a string in it, and the string allegedly tells you how much life you have left to live, the measure of your life. Essentially, you can imagine there's a bit of chaos that ensues. A lot of people are scared about knowing how much life they have left, and they don't really want to confirm that. But I do hear a lot of buzz about this. This was a debut novel for Nikki Erlick, and I really want to get to that. So that's one that I think I'm going to read soon. Look, I have all of these on my lap. It's craziness here. Okay. I did a spin the wheel for a series that I need to read, and so I picked this one on the spinner wheel, The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman, the Thursday Murder Club Mystery Series, Book 2. I enjoyed Book 1 very much. I even liked the adaptation, although the book was better. And I don't want to know a whole lot about this, except it is definitely a book about Elizabeth, Joyce, Ron, and Ibrahim again. They are the Thursday Murder Club. They live in this place where, like an assisted posh retirement village, I guess. Not too assisted, though. These are people that are fairly self-sufficient. And an old friend of Elizabeth's shows up, desperate for her help. He's been accused of stealing something, and he doesn't know what to do. That's all I want to know. I'm not going to read any more of it. I love these covers. I have every one of these now, I think. I think I got the Impossible Fortune. I'm pretty sure. But I need to get some of these series read down. So hence another one, The Cruelest Month by Louise Penny. I am at times a seasonal reader. And so this felt like, oh, this is perfect timing. Easter eggs, spring flowers, all kinds of Eastery feels. And book 3, and I have not made any progress on Louise Penny for a while. So I am back to looking at this for the spring time, for Easter time in April. And I love Inspector Gamache. I think he's a really great character. I like some of his assistants as well as the people that live in this community, which is Three Pines. And this one is about an Easter egg hunt. And I think that's what it is. They're celebrating Easter with a seance. And one of the seance party members dies in fright, or do they? I'm not sure. But I don't know why I haven't gotten to this before now, but I haven't. That's a big chunk of a series too. So at some point, people tell me that these get really like you have to read them. I'm not quite there yet, but I think I own one more after this, and then we'll kind of see what happens. Another springtime read for me would be The Language of Flowers by Vanessa Diffenbach. This is one of my self-destruct books. These books are killing my foot. And I would like to read this one this month for sure. This is more of a must read than a not. This one, Vanessa Diffenbach wrote a long time ago, and I just never got to it. And I know I've told you before that I used to do this work for a living, so I kind of didn't want to read it. 2011 is when this came out. So this is about a young girl whose name is it Elizabeth? Victoria. And she spent her childhood in foster care, which is the work that I did for a long time. And she's aging out now at the age of 18, as everyone does. But also, kids don't get a lot of support to age out often, especially in certain states and certain areas of the country. And so I'm assuming that Victoria doesn't have the best support system. But what she does is she starts to plant a garden. I don't know a whole lot else except that most of the people that I talked to have said they love this book. And when I added this to my self-destruct list for this year, several people said, you must get to that. So I heed your recommendation, and here we go. Another one that was on my self-destruct list that I may or may not get to in April is How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. I have got to get on these, let me just say, because I don't want to at least not try them before I decide if they're going to self-destruct or if they're going to stick around. But I really think this one might be good. I've loved The Midnight Library. I know he has another one coming out soon, so it feels like a good time for me to get back to Matt Haig. He also has some nonfiction books, a lot of it about mental health and things, and so I would like to at some point read those too. But this one is about a man whose name is Tom Hazard. And he looks like an ordinary 41-year-old guy, but he's been through a lot of different time periods, and he's met a lot of different people. He's performed with Shakespeare. He's met F. Scott Fitzgerald. I think they had drinks together. There was somebody else that mentioned in the synopsis, but this guy is truly like living the life until he falls in love with someone. And the rule for him was that he could not fall in love with someone. And he's starting to feel that way about Camille, whom he meets at the dog park. And what happens next, I don't know, but I know a lot of people, including my daughter and one of her best friends, have read that and really enjoyed it. So it's a possibility that I'll get to it this next month. And like I said, I just really want to start diving into this self-destruct pile because it's a goal, and I want to reach all my goals this year. Well, my intentions this year. I went to the library recently. You know me, I often get books from the library that I'm not maybe going to read, but I want them to get the numbers up, in their space. Also, my friend at the library is leaving the library and he's going to go work somewhere else. And while that makes me sad, I will still stay in touch with him and I will see him. I know. And so, but I want to sometimes pop in and say hello to him before he's not going to be there anymore. So the first one is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore, whom I have read before. Romances, they've gotten a little bit spicier as the series has gone on. So I don't know if I'm going to continue this series or not, but I grabbed this because it was there and it was all by itself. And I thought, well, maybe I'll give this one a go. I think I also have it on my Kindle, so I could read it in either format, but I might just try it and see if it's something I want to finish. This says now a small town spicy romance. They didn't used to say that they were spicy, and I think a lot of people were like, oh, I didn't expect this. And I get it. Like some of it was just too much for me. So again, I don't know if I'm going to go on with it, but I have it. And then I got this one, oddly, Snowblind, and it's spring. I know you're thinking, what the what? It was also sitting there by itself. And also, I love Ragnar Jonasson. I love his books so much. And this is the first in the Dark Iceland series. Island. I was thinking of another series. Dark Iceland series, book number 1. There are 6 of those. So if I commit to this, I'll probably read all 6, right? But I don't know. I don't know if I'll get to this month, but this is definitely about a quiet fishing village in northern Iceland where no one locks their doors, and it's accessible only via a small mountain tunnel, which is very interesting. And Ari Thor is a rookie policeman on his first posting far from his girlfriend in Reykjavik, so that must be tricky, and he has a past that he's unable to leave behind. And a young woman is found half naked in the snow, bleeding and unconscious, and a highly esteemed elderly writer falls to his death. So Ari is dragged straight into the heart of this community. He can't trust anyone, and everybody is lying and has these secrets. So the past plays tag with his present. Claustrophobic tension mounts while Ari is thrust ever deeper into his own darkness, blinded by snow and with a killer on the loose. It's a startling debut from an extraordinary new talent. I love everything I've ever touched by this particular author. So has a lot of other people. And he also translates Agatha Christie novels, as I've told you before, but I'm also just reminding you because I think that that's a great little job for him to have had. All right, this one. I was watching YouTube the other day, BookTube, and I was watching Lindsay at Lindsay's Little Library. It was one of her last two videos. I watched, I think, both of them the same day. And she was recommending or planning to read Hello Transcriber by Hannah Morrissey. And I've had this on my Kindle for about a year, and I just haven't gotten to it. So I thought this would be a good time for me to begin. This is the Black Harbor series #1, and it has a 3.43, and I usually try to go for a little bit over a 3.5 for books that I plan on reading, but I have gotten some good buzz from other friends I've seen that have rated it, and I'm sure, as the case for a lot of series, it'll get better over time. So I think I'm going to give it a go. This one is set in Wisconsin, which I like because I used to visit Wisconsin and I had family who lived there. And this is about a transcriber named Hazel Greenlee. She's hired for this job at the beginning of the book. And she is listening to all of the detectives and all the things that they're recording. And she's transcribing about the crimes that have happened in Black Harbor, which she is surprised to discover also include her neighbor, who confesses to hiding a body of an overdose victim in a dumpster. So she's learning all kinds of new things about people that live in this place, but also there is a notorious, I guess, serial killer, drug dealer, or something like that, named Candyman, which this death is linked to. And so she begins to get very curious about this. And there's a detective, I can't think of his name, that's also going to be connected to her, I think, and maybe together they're going to try to figure this out. I don't know, but mostly suspense, thriller, crime related. And I don't know, this one just it just hit me. Like it hit me when I first saw it. And I'm trying to think, did this come out? Yeah, it came out a while ago, 2021, but it's a backlist for me too. So I think I'm going to add that one to the maybe pile. But if I need a Kindle to read, because I love to read my Kindle or my Nook, either one, then this one will probably be one that I choose this next month. Now, these three, very unlikely, but possible that I will get to them. All right. This one is not on my self-destruct list, but it is one that I'm either going to read or not read. This is Meg Wolitzer's The Wife. I have wanted to read this for years now. It's been out for a long time. I think I got this from a little free library at the time, and she's written a number of other books. She's pretty prolific. This one came out in 2003. Paperback 2004. This has 4 pages of recommendations, or maybe 3. No, 4. And she's written 11 other books. And I don't think I've read any of them. But this one just has always interested me. A married couple on an airplane on their way to Helsinki. And the wife starts to consider her life with her husband. He's a famous novelist. He's done very, very well for himself. And she also has supported him over taking care of her own work and really being seen in her own right. So she's probably tired of it. She's tired of him. She's really noticing that it may be time for her to end her marriage, which is sad. And a lot of people won't want to read this for that reason. From the opening, Meg Wolitzer flashes back to the 1950s, Smith College, Greenwich Village, and follows the course of a marriage that has brought the couple to this breaking point that results in a shocking revelation. Why did I think she fell asleep? I don't know. On the flight. Maybe because I always fall asleep on a flight. I don't know. But it says it was assumed to be a major motion picture starring Glenn Close. If it was made into one, I didn't see it. But this would be a nice quick read, I think. And it does sound like, and has always sounded like, something I would enjoy. It says it's acerbically funny. And you're just not knowing what's going to happen until the end. So I like that too. And I wanted to have kind of a variety. And as you can see, I have a pretty big variety. This one's a little cozy. This is a reread for me, should I decide to do so. This is At Home in Mitford by Jan Caron. And this is one of a number of series or a number of books in this series, the Mitford series. And I loved this book. And I bought several others, and I didn't get to any more after this. I don't think. I would have to look, and I just don't want to do that right now. However, I loved this book. This is cozy, but not a mystery at all. This is a cozy, it's kind of like the series that you see on BritBox maybe, although Mitford is in the United States, or things like that, where it's just like all the neighbors, everybody knows everybody. There's a church in this case. It's sort of the heart of this novel is about Father Tim, the priest at this church, or the pastor. I think he's a rector, a bachelor rector. The characters are lovable for sure. I loved Father Tim and some other characters that I was introduced to. That he has a dog, a giant dog that he can't really control. That always made me laugh, and I'm familiar with that situation. But I really think it's time for it says it's a cozy neighborly read, and that's true. And this town is really a character in and of itself. Mitford is. So would I like to get back to that series? Yes. Did I share with you one, two, three, four series already? Yes. Five, sorry, five series in this. Is there a trend? Yes, there is. Last but not least, Go as a River by Shelley Reed. This book was given to me by our friend who's kind of like she's a motherly figure to us, but also we try to take good care of her. And she rescues dogs as well. Her name is Vaughn. She gave this to me for my birthday last year, and she said she had read it. Her sister gave it to her, I think. It's set in Colorado, where she lived part of the time. She was here and then left and then came back again after her husband died. But she said it was really good, and I was kind of hesitant because I hadn't heard anything about it before that, and I really didn't know if this was something I was going to enjoy. Then yes, these things happen. The next thing I knew, I'm in a book club one night or sort of reading sprints or something with Krista. We were all live, so it may have been a fam chat. I don't know. And somebody recommended this book, and everybody started talking about this book and how good it is. And I was like, really? I had no idea. Like, I had never heard of this book. Funny things happen all the time. So this is about 17-year-old Victoria Nash, and she and her family have a peach farm in Colorado, and she's tending to the peaches and trying to take care of everything. And Wilson Moon is a young drifter who's been displaced from his tribal land and determined to live a life as he chooses. They meet on a street corner, and it results, it says, in passion and danger. So I'm not sure what happens there, and alerts or alters the course of both of their lives. Shelley Reed's debut novel is a story of love deeply held even in the face of hardship and loss, finding courage, resilience, and finally home where least expected. So it sounds like Indigenous people, characters, at least one. It sounds like a setting that I don't read books that are often set in Colorado. And from what I understand, this one surprised so many people that, like me, weren't just sure at all about it and weren't sure they were going to love it. They did. So, am I all in? I'm pretty much three-quarters of the way in, but definitely want to read it before the end of the year because it was a gift to me, and I'm sure she's going to ask me soon if I read it. But also, I really think it's something that I'm going to enjoy, and so I'm going to prioritize it for the next couple of months. And I don't know that it's set in spring, but it definitely has this on the cover, so it's possible because you would not probably find this in a winter book or something like that. But good buzz. Jane Green, Adriana Trigiani, Colorado Public Radio said it was remarkable story of love and loss, resilience, continuing to move forward just as a river flows. Okay, there we go. That is my stack of books that I possibly will read this month, and some that I definitely will read, and some that I will return to the library or not. We will see. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you think about them if you did, or let me know what you think about the synopsis and the prep that I have shared with you so that you could take a look at these if you want to. I would say that none of these probably will fit for Academia April, so these are just, again, possibilities outside of that realm. Maybe there's a school in one of these, and I'll let you know. Was there a school in Mitford in this one? No, I don't think so, but I don't know. It's possible. Nevertheless, let me know if these are, books that are on your radar, or if you are like, yeah, no, that's not going to work for me, which is also fine. If you don't want to put a comment in the comment section below, you can always put an emoji in. So you could put a peach, you could put a church, you could put an airplane, you could put a clock, flowers, snow, strawberries, Easter eggs. There's a fox on this book, so you could do that. And I don't know, for the measure, you could put a string, although I don't know that there's an emoji for strings. We'll know if you do. All right. This one says it's impossible to put down, by the way. So that's good. Maybe that's the one that kind of ramps it up. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your comments, your support, your shares of other books. I just love them. I write them down whenever I see them. Thanks for your patience when I don't always answer the comments, but I am reading them. And as always, happy reading and happy spring, which is almost here, right? I mean, it's here, but it's not here. But we're getting there. We're really, really getting there, a lot of us. So thanks again. And as always, happy reading. Bye.